Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is October the 26th, 2023. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and come back for more. And to all my returning viewers, welcome back. And I hope all of you will leave me a thumbs up and leave a comment. I love hearing your comments and ideas and suggestions. I'm always open to new ideas and suggestions. And of course, I would love if you're new here, after you've watched this, if you enjoyed it, I hope that you will subscribe and come back. I'm coming to you from southwestern Ontario in Canada, and I'm all about showing finished objects whenever I can and sharing anything about the crochet world that I can, any knowledge I have. And of course, I absolutely love hand-dyed yarn, and so I love to show it as often as I can. I have not been purchasing as much lately, but Black Friday is coming up before we know it, because here it is, the end of October. And I was really excited to get to this video today. Even though you're getting it on Thursday, I'm videotaping this on Monday again because I was so anxious to, I guess I'd say excited would be more the word. I was so excited to share some things with you, and I can hardly wait to show you what I have here today. Actually, a number of things, a little bit different than usual. What I am wearing, I usually start there, and this is a pattern from Reggie at J Hook Crochet called the Zazura shawl. I have made this, probably 3 times, and I wouldn't be surprised if I make it again in the future. I don't know if you can see that it looks like snowflakes, but I made it in red and green, and it looked like poinsettias when I made it. And then I made it in this. And I don't know if, does sparkle show just a teeny bit? This is yarn from Ravenswood. So I will link both Ravenswood. Their yarn colors change regularly. They don't keep the same colors in stock. She just goes what she feels like dyeing. I will link Ravenswood, and I will link this pattern in Etsy. That's where Reggie sells the pattern, and I really enjoyed it. And I love Ravenswood yarn. You're going to see more of it. I've ordered some of her, so maybe next week I'll be showing you what I got. And I'm going to start using it. I have come to the point where it's time to use this beautiful yarn. Somebody made the comment that I'm always showing you this beautiful yarn I get, but I never seem to show you anything I make in it. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to start using the things that I've showed you in projects. I really want to get to some projects when I finish up all the things I had to do in October. As for a finished object, I don't really have a finished object. I am busy, and I'm only going to show you sort of what it looks like here. I'm on the last color for my October cal, and I added a cream to it, and I should finish it tonight. And then I get that done in time for our end of the month slideshow. And while I'm saying that, and I remember, I need to remind you, I need your pictures for the October cal by October the 29th, which is this Sunday. I need them by Sunday, and then I put the slideshow together. And I also want to remind you that next week, my regular video is going to be part of the beginning of the month slideshow. So I will be coming to you on Wednesday next week. Only one, not two videos. We'll combine it all in one. It'll probably be a little longer than some, but I will be doing the end of the month slideshow, the beginning of November's reveal for the month to give your inspiration, and then I'll do anything else I have for my regular video. So it's not quite finished, but it definitely will be finished for the slideshow next week. And when I finish it tonight, that means that tomorrow, all going well, I'm going to start socks. So I am going to get at least one pair of socks. I will have almost a whole week. So who knows, maybe I can do 2 pairs of socks. Those of you that are sock makers, can you do 2 pairs in 1 week? I'm going to do a tube socks first, as I mentioned last week. And then I'm going to try, I think I'm going to try a toe up first, right after that. So hopefully by next week. And again, you need to send your pictures of your socks, and they can get to me by November the 5th. That's the following week, because the first week in November, we're going to have another slideshow of socks, all socks. So I hope there's lots of you out there that are attempting to make socks. I know there's some of you making them for the very first time. Okay, like I said, we have several fun things to do today. First of all, let's talk about our next installment, our last installment of Clue, and see where that takes us. Now, what do you think? Let me take a drink here first. What do you think I did about that yellow yarn? Well, I'm going to put a picture here, and hopefully it's surprising to you to know that I actually put the yellow in the project. And here's a picture, and I don't know how well it shows it, but I thought it was so glaring bright compared to all the other colors, especially the mustard and the brown around it. So sorry folks, I couldn't deal with it. Even though I'd done 3 of the 4 rows in the Clue, I took it out. Sorry, I took it out. It just did not look like it worked. And this was going to be a big enough shawl without it. And one of my viewers suggested to me, well, hang on to it. You can use it next year when you do the tropical birds. Oh, yeah, it'll fit into the tropical birds, all right. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. So anyway, here is the progress to date. I've got all the colors in, and the only end I haven't finished is the one where I'm waiting for the next color. All the other ends are in. Oh, the very first. I never do the first one till I'm all done. I don't know why that is. But anyway, here it is. I'll back up, and you can hopefully see the whole thing, the progress to date. So you can see that after the last, well, it was supposed to be 3, but after the last 2 clues, it went back to the main color. And there's still a decent amount of main color left. So I'm thinking that we've got 3 more clues to open, and probably at the end of those 3 clues, there'll be some more of this. I would even finish it off, I think. It's really a pretty color. I really, really like it. So there's how it's going. Very colorful. So let's see what the next clues are. I'm just going to drape this over the back of my chair. Let's see what the next clues are. I don't have any guesses, but you know what? We haven't seen any blue yet. So do you think we might get blue in one of these 3? We have done purple, although it was a very dark purple. We haven't had red either. Oh yes, we have. We've had brick red. So who knows what colors are left? Teal? Aqua? So here is number 11. And I'm ready to open it up. Oh, I should also point out that I'll open this first. Ooh, I have to be really careful. I don't want to cut into my skein. Yes, I was right. That's a color we haven't had. And it's a clue, as it always is. And there's my next stitching clue. It looks like it's a fairly long one. It's only 2 rows because they're getting wider. And there it is. Now that I like. And the clue is, yeah, it makes sense. Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. Peacock. A little more blue than peacock, but, well, I don't mind that one at all. And it'll go nicely next to the brown. There are specks of blue in there. Okay, that's great. I have to hold them aside because that's what I started to tell you. They have a checklist. I've got all my clues in here, all my everything, and they give you a scorecard, like a checklist. And what I did was I went and I magnified it, I increased it, and I checked off everything that we've received so far. All of the yarn ones, just the yarn, that's the only thing. So I'll have to check off Mrs. Peacock, and I do like that one. You know, I would. So what other colors are we going to get here? Here's number 12. She certainly seals these up good. Ooh, now that's interesting. This, it's a clue. I figured as much. Every one of them is a clue. And there's my pattern clue. And there we have a mixture of blues and purples, a little bit of a teal color. And the clue in this, for those of you that have played Clue before, you are very familiar with the people and the weapons and the rooms. And the 6 people are the same people that are in the game. But I have to show you, this is kind of funny. The weapons, candlestick, knife, knitting needles, lead pipe, revolver, rope, and wrench. So only knitting needles was something new. And down in the rooms, ballroom, billiard room, conservatory, craft room. Craft room has been added to it. Dining room, hall, kitchen, library, lounge, and study. All the rest are the same. So she added a little bit. Now, mind you, she's a knitter, so knitting needles, but I think they'd be more dangerous than a crochet hook. So this is craft room. And that's the color. Well, that's going to look really nice next to that. Nice. So what color do you think might be coming next? If she's done a combination, I'm thinking maybe purple, blue, mixture, and purple. Oh, I hope so. That'd be a nice way to end this project. Except that the rows will be only 2 rows of each one. And our final clue. Oh, did I show you? It was number 13. And of course, it's a clue. Oh, that's an interesting color. It's a clue. And there's my stitching clue. And again, oh, it's 1, 2, oh, it's 4 rows, but you go back to Yeah, 2 rows with this, and you go back and do 2 rows with the main color. And here it is. Purples with greens. I like that too. Well, that's a difficult job to do, to stitch, to hand dye so many different colors. So there they are, the 3 together. Oh, I really, really like them. I almost wish we'd started with it and they would have got more rows. But very pretty, very pretty. I really like those. So what's the clue? The clue is lounge. So if I mark these off on here, I got to mark off lounge and craft room and Mrs. Peacock. Now, the other thing, somebody was smarter than me, said that this is a clue. I put all my stitching clues in there. They said it says kitchen, so that's probably the clue, kitchen. So we should mark off kitchen. Kitchen down here. Now, I also have this bag here. It's a clue. And I have to guess we need to look at what these are. They are stitch markers, but we need to know specifically what stitch markers so we know what other clues to mark off. And there are 3 stitch markers. Well, the first one, thank goodness she put lobster claws on them, even though she's a knitter. First one is rope. So I'm going to mark off rope here. Second one is a wrench. Very mini wrench, but it is a wrench. So we mark off the wrench. And the third one is, I call it a cleaver, but there's no cleaver on there. So I'm going to guess this is her version of a knife. So I'm going to mark off knife. So here's the problem. She hasn't given us every clue. Here's what we have left. And I guess if you would like, you can go and make your guess. I have here the information to tell you where to go and make you should be ready to make a guess as who killed Mr. Buddy, with what weapon, and in which room. Post your guess on social media and be sure to tag us at Forbidden Fiber Co. At Forbidden Fiber Co. You see that there? I'll put that in the description box below, at Forbidden Fiber Co. So you can do that on Instagram. And you have to do it before November the 1st, because for November the 1st, they're going to pick one lucky winner. Now, here's your problem. We have 2 suspects, Miss Scarlet and Ms. White. We have 2 weapons, candlestick. Oh no, we have 3, candlestick, knitting needles, and lead pipe. And we have the conservatory and the dining room. So 2 times 3 times 2, there are 12 different possible guesses you could make. And only one of them is going to be correct. So if you want to try winning a gift certificate from Forbidden Fiber, you can give it a try and see what comes up. I'm sure on November 1st, they're going to announce the actual answer to the game, to the whodunit. So that brings us to the end of Clue. I hope you've had fun doing it. And now I'm going to go after I get socks done. I have to get my socks done before the end of the month if I can. But hopefully before we come back a week from now, I can get at least one pair of socks done. And I can get the next 3 rows. You know I'm going to enjoy working on these 3 rows along with this to finish it up. So I still have some work ahead of me before this month is over because I want to make at least 1, if not 2 pairs of socks. Okay, so that's the end of Clue. I really hope you have enjoyed doing this. And if she puts out, I'm sure she won't do Clue again next year, but if she puts out another October package of so many 12 or 13 minis, I will definitely do it again. Apparently there is another one she's doing right now or getting ready to do, Renaissance something, but I'd already bought 4 advent calendars and that was enough for this year. And talking about advent calendars, I was really excited to hear that 2 things. First of all, I told you last week, Polka Dot Creek sent out our Christmas Advent packages, a couple weeks ago now, and I got notification it was in the mail, and it wasn't supposed to arrive until tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday this week. It arrived on Friday, and I was so excited to get it. And I'm going to show you what it was I got in the mail. I won't be opening any minis. Just a minute. My clues fell on the ground here. But I do want to show you the package I got in the mail. I was so excited to get it. Okay. It came in this box. And it had a sticker on it. Oh, it says Advent inside. No peeking. Well, you don't think I left the box all sealed up. No. I had to at least open the box. And I like to check ahead to see how it's set up so that I am ready. And it came like this. Nice bright green tissue paper, and I just removed the tissue paper. I ripped it when I did, and this is what I found sitting inside. Now I knew it was coming with a bag. It said when I bought it that you got a project bag, but you know, when you think project bag, you're thinking those smaller drawstring type or similar to it. But I already knew how this would look because I saw them showing this on Instagram. And I really wanted to share this with you because this is a very unique bag. Now I'm going to move a few things out of the way here. I don't want to spill anything. So here is how the bag looks. It has handles on it. You know what it reminds me of? I'm showing my age, I'm sure. But in the old TV shows, movies, even when I was growing up, you remember the doctor's bag? It was all black, but it looked like this. And if the doctor came to your house, and you know what? When I was growing up, the doctor came to the house. Anyway, it looked like this, but not pretty colors. It was all black. But this reminds me of the doctor's bag. These handles are a very strong canvas, and it is double layered, and it is stitched all the way down, and the bottom it's faux, I'm sure, a faux leather, but it feels like a leather. I know it's not real leather. We'd be paying an awful lot of money for that, but it is meant so that maybe it's a vinyl of some sort, but it's meant so that you can sit it on the ground. If you're traveling, this will sit on the ground, and if it gets dirty, it'll be easy to wipe off. Now, the other thing I was aware of, and I'd never seen before, so I was excited to see this, is it has a zipper to open it, and it has what's called a wire frame. So if you unzip this across the top, and open it up, this is wire in here, and it opens up. Of course, I can't set it where you can see it, but this frame opens wide so it stays sturdy. Well, if I didn't have it packed full, I'll show you. And it comes with 12 minis wrapped in tissue, and then another 12 minis wrapped in tissue, and then the bag will sit open. If it were sitting on a table or on the floor, this wire frame sits open so you can put your work. Now, it's lined in a different fabric, and by the way, it is Christmassy. And inside has a pocket on this side that matches the lining, and a pocket on this side that matches the outside fabric. And by the way, this feels quilted. I don't see quilting, but I know there's something between the two layers. And so that is the case, or the project bag we get with this. Now, the other thing is, these all have funny sayings. I'll read them at the time when we open them, but I think they're sayings from the movie. I gotta go and look up the name of the movie. You've probably watched it, I haven't. But in the first bag, we also got this, and this is a list of all the 24 different Canadian dyers dyed these. So one day they'll all be dyed by Polka Dot Creek. Another day they're all dyed by Borealis. You remember me opening Borealis a few weeks back. So there are 24 different dyers. Sassy Springs, I've had them before. And the 25th person is the bag, and the bag is by, can you see it? So Shannon. Now, I went to her website. I think she's on Etsy, and she's not in the shop right now. Apparently, this is market season, and she's out with all of her product going to the markets. But I'll watch for her, and when I find that she's back, I'll give you, excuse me, I'll give you a link. So that's what we have to look forward to. I wanted to tell you the background now so I don't have to take the time when December gets here. So I'm really looking forward to opening this. But you know, I have to think what a lot of work has gone into this. And when I'm all done, I can hardly wait to finish opening them all and then put this bag to use. It's not a, it's an expensive bag, and I can hardly wait to put it to use, and I wouldn't mind seeing some non-Christmas bags, so I will check her out. Oh, that's why it wouldn't open. I didn't have the zipper undone. Anyway, I'm going to zip it back up and put it aside and admire my bag for the next month until it's time to open all of these Advent minis. So I'll put that back over there. Okay, and I have one other exciting bit of information or something to show you I was excited about. Bring this over. I don't know how many of you would have seen this, but I gave a teaser on Instagram at the first of the week. It turns out that my brother and his wife, they live in a sort of a community on a golf course. And in that community, there was a lady, a neighbor of theirs, who is losing, unfortunately, she's losing her eyesight. And I don't know if she was a knitter or a crocheter, but she's unable to continue on with her craft. And she decided she wanted to clear out any of her supplies, her yarn supplies. And somehow it was mentioned to my sister-in-law, I guess, or my brother, and they asked if I wanted it. And I said, well, it depends. I mean, she may have, you know, bins of worsted weight, and I just decluttered all my worsted weight. So if it's worsted weight, probably not. I would want things like hand dyed and that, and I don't think it's likely she had it. Well, anyway, they did get from her one tub of yarn. She wanted nothing for it, and I could have the yarn and the tub. And I think her husband was anxious to get it out of the house. So this is what I got. There was added a little later a bag, and I'll do this first. There was a bag of a lot of, these are remnants. They won't be terribly useful. But I also got this tub. You can see it's a decent sized tub. And I thought I would share it with you. I don't do yarn hauls generally because I don't go shopping at Joann's and Hobby Lobby and all of those and bring big yarn hauls. But I thought I would go through and show you what I did get, and it really was a nice yarn haul. So first of all, in the bag, I'm going to start, it has a bit of a smell, heavy of perfume kind of thing. First thing is, I know what this is. It's unused. It's Aunt Lydia's classic 10 size crochet thread. I have never done anything in crochet thread. I don't know if I ever would, but I'm thinking that either if I don't find somebody I know that uses it, I will maybe put it in a giveaway down the road, and then those that use crochet thread can try to win that. So that is perfectly new. It's just not something I will use. Then I have this other, it's been caked up. It does have inside, the inside of it. It is from Harmony. Oh, it's a Cascade yarn. Cascade Yarns. And it is what I would call a ribbon yarn. Very pretty colors, a little too yellow, but still not bad colors. Ribbon yarn, and I think you can see. Now, I don't know how many of you remember, if you were here when I showed you my stuff from Tessalon, I have some very, very pretty ribbon yarn in shades of blue like this. And I really want to do something with it. And I have no idea what kind of items would you suggest for ribbon yarn. So if I don't figure out what I can do with ribbon yarn, I won't be able to use this. But I'd appreciate suggestions for ribbon yarn because, like I said, I have 3 cakes of it in blue that I really like. And I just can't figure, presume you have to use a bigger hook. But I just don't know what kinds of things people make with ribbon yarn. But I would like to know. I really, really would like to know. So please share. Then there is a ball. I'm not going to show you I'm just going to hold them up. But this is, I can't even guess at the material. Maybe cotton. It is a lightweight. And it's a whole ball. And I don't know. I don't know what it is. Now this I like. It is a mohair, but I don't know if there's any in the tub or not. We'll keep our eyes open. It looks like she started a chain and then didn't go any farther. Maybe she didn't enjoy working with it. Very nice and soft. And the rest of the bag has like small little balls of leftovers. Okay, there's 2 of that one. Feel very nice. This is the biggest one. So I might be able to use this as a couple of rows, say in a shawl, but there's another one. You know what? I think there's some of this in the tub. I'm going to keep that out. I've been through the tub. But, I mean, little balls like this, I don't really know that I would have any use for it. Some of it looks like a few things that are in the tub. So I'm not going to go through any more of that. I'm going to put these back in here and give it some thought. So let's go through this tub. Very nice tub. And the best stuff is on the top. First is this. I have seen somebody online, some creator, open this yarn from Wonderland Yarns. I don't know where the company is, but I believe it is, you know, it might be, I'm pretty sure it's US, Wonderland Yards, but it, oh yeah, dyed and spun in the US. A very plushy feeling. At first I thought it was heavier, but it says that it is machine washable. And it is where it's called cherry tarts. It is sock or fingering weight. That's why it's a little heavier. Sock is a little heavier. 512 yards though. That's quite a bit of yardage in one. 4 ounces, 100% superwash merino, and it feels quite nice. So I could make like something like this with it, but I suspect I might put it, it's soft, I might put it with something else. So that is a really good item. Where am I going to put this stuff as I pull it out? I'll put some of it on the table here. Next thing, another great item, and this is Madeline Tosh. So I have Madeline Tosh, but nothing like this. And this is considered to be 100% superwash merino, fingering weight, and is 395 yards. And does it have a color name? Floral Rose. Anyhow, look at that. That is bright. Now, mind you, be good for next year. I have to tell you, first of all, before I go any further, I've been talking about next year's cow, and those of you who've been following me know that we made the decision to use tropical birds next year. Well, excuse me. Well, I have already picked out the 12 birds, and I've taken the birds and gone in my stash because I wanted to know if I would need to order anything. I changed one bird at the last minute, but I went through my stash, what you see here and what you don't see, and I was able to find yarn for 11 of the 12 birds. And I've already put the yarn that I think is perfect for those birds into a project bag, and I have put it aside. I have one bird left to do, and it doesn't use this bright pink, but I have it as a possible substitution if I think I could make a better choice. But I have a pattern, and I'm going to put it up here. I have a pattern I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and they used pink and black. Look at it. I'm thinking I would like to do this with a navy, pink and navy, do that pattern I just showed you. So that's another great buy. This was worth it. I had to go and meet my brother and his wife halfway between us to pick this up on the weekend, and that alone made it worth the trip. Then we have this, and this is from Shakameyer, and it is quite nice. And what does it say we have here? It's only 50 grams. I don't see yardage, and it's mohair and acrylic. I would really, oh, there it is. 90 meters. 90 meters is about 100 yards. I don't know what I can make with 90 meters, but I'm sure somewhere I can find something comparable and put two things together. Or 90 meters might make a cowl. It would definitely make an ear headband. Um, it's soft, mohair. That's nice. So then we have this Bergère. I've heard of this company, and it it has a shimmer. I wouldn't say it's, well, it might be metallic. The thread is kind of, can you see it? The thread is kind of red. Metallic thread is red going through this pink. And how much do we have here? We have 300 meters. Well, that's definitely enough to make, I probably wouldn't use it alone though. I'd probably put it with another yarn, but it's definitely enough to make an infinity scarf. And 300 meters, if I put it with something else, I'd have more than enough to make something like this. There's not very much in that. So nice. I'm going to have to find something to put with it. You can see it's, as Crystal says, it has the bumpies. I don't mind it too much in a thin weight like this, but I definitely have to find something to go with it. Then I got some fur. I call it fur. There's a partial and a full. It's a donut, and it's from Haiku. I've heard the name. I've seen other creators show this, and it's called Caribou, and it's 50 grams, 93 yards, 83 meters, 85 meters, and it's made of, I don't know, doesn't really say here. Oh, 100% nylon. Well, you know what faux fur is like. You know, you get the strand with the fuzzy on it. And it's not enough for anything, but my thinking is if I make the right thing, like a scarf or a cowl, I can use these maybe as trim. I'm not sure what color. Maybe onto a cream or a brown or something. I would use that. It's very, very soft. I'm not too sure at this point what I would do with it. Then I have this, and this is from Barocco. Kind of coming apart. It's a donut that's sort of falling apart here, and it has 350 yards, 320 meters, 350 yards, and it is 50% wool, 50% acrylic. I'm going to say it's a fingering weight, and I quite like it. I like the colors. The feel is nice. And 350, I'm thinking I will use this by itself and make an infinity scarf. Maybe I can find a nice pattern to put it in. I can see with these things I have a lot of scarves and cowls in my future. But, you know, I might as well make use of it somehow. And I do like those colors together. Nice. And it feels nice. Okay, next. We have two balls that she has wound herself. I have no way of knowing anything about them. They are fingering weight, and I have no way of knowing how much I have. They feel very solid. So, again, it has texture to it. I don't know if I want to take a chance to try to make a shawl with it or put it with something to make a shawl. Or maybe I use it as another strand that goes along with some yarn. I like it. I'd like to use it, but how do I determine at all how much I have? I don't know. I mean, I can weigh it, but I suppose with the weight and being fingering weight, it would give me an estimate, maybe? I don't know. It's pretty, but I'm not too sure. Next, oh, and this is one of my favorite things, although I really did like those first two hanks. I have this bag. I'll show you the bag, and then I'll only take one out. There is one that has had the label removed. It looks like she started to work. I'll take it out too. She started to work with it and then put it aside, wound it around the ball. Maybe because her sight was getting too bad, or maybe because some people can't work with black. I don't have a problem with black. This is from Peyton's. There we go. Peyton's. I have not seen this in recent years, so I don't know if it's older. It's called Black Dazzle. It's a number 3, and it wants a 3.75 milliliter hook. It has 69% acrylic and 31% polyester, and there's 151 meters or 166 yards in this, and I have 8. 3, 2, 4, 6. I have 8 of these. 8 at 166. That's 1440. Better than 1440. So that's enough to make something substantial. Now I want to show it to you up close. It's sparkle. I love black and I love sparkle. And can you see it's chain construction. And I don't think yet I've ever worked, I have others, but I've never worked with chain construction. My thinking is that I would love to make a nice, beautiful, elegant wrap or shawl. Just this plain black. If I made a shawl, I would have some left over, and then I could put what's left over with some other colors in a second item. If I made a wrap, it might take the better part of it. I don't know. I'd like to make even something just like this, small enough to wrap around my neck, just in this plain black. Several possibilities, but and it feels nice. I wouldn't say super soft because it's chain construction and it has the metallic in it, although you can't feel the metallic. But that, I think, is my favorite thing in the whole bin. I absolutely love that. Next, we'll go to the other extreme. Get ready. You know, I won't be using this, even for the birds. Well, first of all, I guess it was a donut with no label. It is fingering weight with texture. I have no way of knowing the composition of it or the yardage. I mean, I could use it in the birds and add it in with some other color, but it doesn't inspire me to do anything with it. So we'll just put that aside. Then we have these 2 balls. Now they're gold. I could use them, especially if I put them with, I don't know, a dark brown or something. They feel nice, like they have maybe mohair in them or maybe alpaca. It is thin. So I would say a fingering weight. Again, the composition I don't know, and how much is in the ball I don't know, but they both feel very, very solid. So I'd be tempted to use them with a mixture of other, like browns and beiges and maybe orange, I don't know. And that way I would use some of it, but not worry about having enough, because I could be using other things with it. I'm not sure. That's the one problem when you get hand woven or hand caked balls. Feels wonderful. I would love to use it, but who knows. Okay, so then I have this, and I was right. This little ball here, I'm going to put with this ball, and I'm going to weigh them, and I'll know what they have because I have one original ball, and it's from Rossetti Soft Paillette. And this is 70% acrylic, 22% polyester, and 8% soft paillette. And how much? Oh, there it is, 224 yards. Well, if this has 224 yards, and I can weigh these, maybe I have another 100. If I have over 300, I can definitely make a nice infinity scarf. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, you can. But see, it has sequins. This color is called aquamarine. To me, they're like peacock colors. You know, I might be able to use this in my birds. It's a nice color. If I can think of something to make once I know the weight, I'll go for it, or I will get something else to go with it. I really like those pretty sequins. Okay, so that's a nice item. I like it. Hopefully we can figure out what to do with it. Now we got a few things that are kind of unusual, weird. First is this. I guess you would call it an eyelash yarn. It has, I don't know what kind of construction that is. It's a pretty color. I would love to put it in something or around something, but I have no idea of knowing how much is there. And again, I don't know what I would do with it. Have any of you made anything with yarn like this? It feels stiff. It's like two chains woven together. Put it up here. Suggestions would be fine. If I could put it on something, I would, but I'm not too sure what. And then I got some fun fur, and it's from Lion Brand, and I'm thinking it's pretty old because of that label. And it's only, I don't think there's any more of it. No, there's only one skein of it, and it has 52 yards. So not much, but if I ever come up with a color, don't have anything handy, but a color that this would match, I would put this, again, it's the eyelash, they call it fun fur, but it looks like eyelash to me. I would maybe put it on the edge of something, but it's thinner than fur, so don't know about that one. Then I have these two donuts. This is getting kind of long. I hope you're enjoying seeing my beautiful haul. These are from Shakameyer. I have two of them. That's a pretty color. It's not in my color wheel, but it is a pretty color, a soft sort of peach. Apricot. They call it apricot. And it is 100% virgin wool. It feels quite nice, and there is 120 meters in each. So I have 240 meters, which is just over like 275 yards, maybe. 275 yards. What would you make with that? You know, I think the smart thing would be, because this is, you know what? Might be DK weight. I think it is. Yeah, 50 grams, 120 meters. Yeah, it'd be DK weight. Maybe if I can come up with a white to put with it, that would make something a little bigger. Maybe I could actually make a shawl if I could come up with another, you know, 100 grams of this weight in white. So that is nice, and it feels nice, and it's merino, so good quality. Then I have more pink. Crystal was teasing that maybe we should send it to Juan, the yarn addict, all our pink. But I don't mind pink. Now this is from, I don't know, there's a label across part of it, but it's made in Italy. See, there's a label across the actual name. Something Di Crosa. Golden Line Superior. So I want to see what it's made of. Oh yeah, no wonder this feels wonderful. It is very thin, almost as thin as some mohairs. If I can get one strand. It's very, very furry. See, it's quite thin. So I'd probably put it, I'd either double it or I'd put a strand with something else. But listen to this. It is 70% cashmere, 25% silk, and then 5% extra fine merino. Cashmere and silk. Oh, I just got to put it as a strand with something white, black. I don't know. It is super soft. Smells, it's got a very strong perfumey smell. I'm going to have to leave it all out. Anyway, gorgeous. And how much is in it? Did I say? I don't think I did say. Oh, here it is. 300 meters, 328 yards. So I have to get something that this would go with and make a beautiful infinity scarf or cowl. Very pretty and super soft. And this is, I'm thinking this is the same thing in a different color because it feels, no, this is softer. This has got cashmere. I don't think this is. I think this one's mohair. Again, a thin thread. I'll have to find something to put it with, and I have no idea how much there is. So we're taking our chances. Now I have 2 balls of this, so I'll only show you one. And is the company Opal, I guess. And it is definitely a sock yarn. See the socks on it? I don't think I'm going to be making that many socks, but you know what? I know there's lots of you that make socks, and I maybe put this in my, I keep a box of things that I use for my giveaways. And this is, well, it's German or Dutch. Oh, yeah, made in Germany. 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide. And it says it's for socks, and it has, I don't know what the yardage is, but I have 2 of them. So I will give them away as a pair. But each ball was $17.98. And I have 2 of them. Okay. Then I have 2 of these, which I will not be keeping, that I don't, at one time, I don't think I like it any better than I used to. This reminds me of homespun, you know, from Lion Brand. It feels nice, but I used it once and did not like it. And I have 2 skeins. The other doesn't have a wrapper, and it's called Red Heart Baby Color. And how much is in this? 140 yards, so not a lot. I have 2 of them, so we have 280 yards. It's not enough for a baby blanket, but maybe if somebody was making some other baby thing, if this is something you would, it's a bulky 6, but I've never liked homespun, so I know I won't use this even on the baby stuff that I make. But if you think it's worth putting in my giveaway box, I will. Otherwise, I'll just donate it somewhere. Then I got a ball of this, and I have no idea what it is. It's a good sized ball. It's too bad she didn't keep the wrappers when she did this. It's a fingering weight. It reminds me of the, you know, the gradient cakes. Is there a different color in the center there? No, But I could make one of these. I think there's enough to make a shawlette. Then I have a cake, and this is being caked up, but there's no label on in the center. And I'm pretty sure you consider that a fingering, maybe sport, but I'm using sport over here that's thicker. Not a bad color. I could again make one of these with it. I guess, you know, if I knew for sure, they'd be good for socks. Somebody might like them for socks. Then I have a ball of this. We're getting near the bottom. We're on the bottom layer. This is quite nice, and I wonder if it's the same. It may be the same. Does that look the same? I think they're the same. Okay. Well, then I can put the two of those together. And then here's another thing I really like. This is a cake with no label of mohair. Mohair silk, maybe. And it's predominantly red, but you see a little bit of orange running through it. And again, this is something, because this size of ball has a substantial amount in it. So I'd be willing to take a chance of putting this along with some other threads, yarn, and making at least one of these with it. Some plain color. Would I put it with orange, or would I put it on black? That might look sharp. Anyway, it feels nice, and I have to guess that that is mohair. And I have 3 balls of this. I'm sure you're familiar with Bernat Pipsqueak. 3 balls, and I use Bernat Pipsqueak in things like this for my loveys, like her skirt. I have a lot of loveys, and I'm taking some with me to the craft show. And so I have 3 of these that are untouched, labels on them, you know about it. And I will put them in that box and be able to make some use of it. It's not enough for an entire blanket, because how much is there? 120 yards, 360. 360. I don't think that's enough for a full blanket. And I have 2 more. These are cakes, hand-dyed yarn. Unfortunately, she did not keep the labels, but they feel like a regular size. This one is a little, you know, I could put these 2 together. Yeah, I could put a strand of this with a strand of that. Now this has a little bit of pink in it, whereas this has come all red. But I think those 2 together would make a nice scarf or shawl or something. But anyway, this is, again, fingering weight. And it's a bumpy type, not my favorite. And one last... Yeah, I think I've shown you everything. And here's the last cake. This would be good for next year as well. Mostly kind of neon colors. This feels nicer than the last one. It's a little softer, so maybe there's nylon in it. And again, it looks like a complete cake, but when I wrap up a complete cake, they are a little bit bigger. But these feel tighter. These are looser. So, not sure. But, you know, when you make a shawl, if it's not quite as big as you want, you can use it as a shawlette. But anyway, that definitely would make socks. Maybe I'll give it away in a giveaway for somebody that likes to make socks. depending on what I think about making socks. Anyway, that brings us to the end of my tub. And you can see that that is quite the haul. There's a lot there. Now, you know, about a third of it, I would never use at all. And another third, I don't know how much I have, and I'll be playing with it. You know, I might be taking my chances, but I'll make something small. But just to have this bag was enough. And these other two skeins that are still skeined, and this one, those are the highlights for me. I love this one, but again, I don't have a lot of it. It's not going to go very far. But these will definitely make some substantial things, and this yarn. So I did very well in this surprise tub of yarn, and I've taken way too much of your time, so I need to close at this point. I hope you enjoyed seeing, though, what I got in my my yarn haul. I've never had a yarn haul before. And next week is the beginning of November, and I'll have my finished clue shawl done, and I will have socks to show you, and we'll be doing the socks video. We're going to be doing a big video next week with our end of the October cow. So in the meantime, happy hooking.